Started? Okay. Welcome to week 8. This is the financial approval week for the grant request which was made in the 7th week. We had Jessi and myself presenting for a request. Jessi's request was related to tinkering. I hope everyone in the room were there last week. The format of today's presentation is not going through each and everything, but just concentrating on financial stuff and helping them figure out which is the best way, and if it is right, approving that. So the presentation maximum time is 10 minutes, and the decision and the discussion time will be 10 minutes. So presentations will be done in 20 minutes. So I would like to call Jessi to start.
Okay, there's really only 2 pages to this PowerPoint, so if you could just advance the next slide, that'd be great. Okay, this is basically the same list you guys saw last week. Because of just time constraints, I did not have a chance to look online and find every single item that I could possibly want and the exact price for that particular supplier. But pretty much a cheap stun gun that would allow us to start testing very early. That would allow us to see how easily the components can be arranged on the back of a phone. And then a breadboard, other duplicate components, likely under $30. That's mostly because I happen to have a bunch of random junk at my house that can be used, like bits of breadboard and soldering irons and that sort of stuff already. Duplicate components just so that when we wreck something, we can continue onwards. Batteries, I changed it from last week's watch batteries, just generic batteries, to be determined a bit more specifically as we lay out everything. Total price for batteries should be under $20. I don't anticipate us buying very expensive, high-end, custom batteries. Printed plastic, just because of the size of our components, we're expecting it should be very cheap. Less than $20 unless we have to make 1,000 of these for prototyping, and I do not anticipate us doing that at all. And then a yellow jacket case, that would be for us to test the form and function of our competitor. If the society tells us we cannot have a yellow jacket case, we can carry on without one and figure out what we're doing without it. That's pretty much the extent of my ask. This is just milestones that we have laid out. They were the same from last week. Determining all the requirements we need to keep a phone alive after stunning with it. Component layouts, CADing, and printing. This really marks the beginning of actually prototyping our design and testing it. Assembling it, testing it, modifying as necessary, and then finishing with designs that when we go into production, it can be done without massive changes. So that is my ask. I'll move it to the society now.
The other slide back on again so people can look at it.
This one?
Yeah. So I guess that's open to discussion, folks.
Is the printed plastic, it's really that cheap?
We found a company that will print for a few cents per cubic centimeter of material. You just send them your design and they will print it out for you and deliver it a few weeks later. It's an awesome company.
Yeah, that one's way too cheap.
Yeah.
I think you're underestimating that one. I don't know how they quoted that.
Okay.
I think there's some miscommunication there. But it'll be around maybe 60, 70, $100. It's not that terrible, but it's not 20.
Okay.
By the way, if you decide to do that around here, Mott Community College has a fab shop. Kevin Crawl used them, a couple of other students have used them. They're very reasonable, they work with you, and they actually want your business.
We would likely be doing all of this in Texas,
Yeah.
so we'd be finding schools or companies there.
Yeah. that's what I'm saying, if you don't, do you know where you're gonna get it done down there, or?
Currently, just because of the constraints that Kettering has on my time, and the location of my partner, we're probably going to be doing most of this work during work term. And most of that work will happen in Houston.
Okay, so if it so happens that you're back and you haven't done it yet, Mott is a good place to go. Also, they can, you know, you can mail them your CAD and they can make it, then there's the question of shipping it back to you.
Yeah.
So you could still negotiate that with them, they're very reasonable.
Okay.
Is this what you're asking for? It is like 242.95 cents.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Do you want any,
Miscellaneous.
I mean, is this all you want, or do you wanna put a, I feel like you should have a little buffer in there in case you need two or something, or,
A buffer would be useful, or we could use a buffer. I'm not specifically asking for one. If it
Right.
comes to it and we really need that buffer, I'm willing to tap into my own funds for that. I think this project is
because
worth it.
this adds up to what, about 350? 250? 250? Whatever. Actually, you're underpriced on that plastic piece, so even if we jack that up to, you're under 500 basically, no matter what.
Yeah.
Why is it gonna be?
So is it a decision part now? Like,
Oh, I'm
does
just
anybody
asking
have any
questions.
questions?
We're just asking questions.
Could we go to the other slide? So, do you know that this product would sell? I mean, do your competitors sell well? Do you know?
I know that their competitors have been featured by a number of different magazines and such. They did not really post their selling data or their finances anywhere, so I don't know what kinds of numbers we can expect.
I think maybe we should consider, like, since she's like still under 500, consider like maybe including like a miscellaneous, like an extra, like maybe $100 for miscellaneous stuff.
You can do an up to.
Right, because I think there's going to be, I mean, you obviously don't know the full design of this, and there's probably going to be new stuff that you come up
Yeah.
on, and you're probably going to have to use more or extra money for that.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys can put a, up to limit on it right now if you want.
200?
Yeah. You can do 500, you can do 1,000, it's up to you guys. I mean, the limit is 1,000, but, and she's got 3 months to mess around with this and then you'll be back, right? So she can always come back, report on it and continue. So, it's up to you guys. Make a proposal on it.
I think 500
Yeah.
would be good.
Sounds good?
I think that's fair.
That should be
That's
plenty.
good?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. It just seems like no one knows what's going on, it's just kind of floating around, I don't know.
No, that's how we do things.
Okay.
It's a membership decision. It's basically, we just bounce it until we all agree.
So is there then a raise hand, a yes or no, or I don't know?
Well, if you have, we'll eventually do that if it's really necessary. It's almost like, if you think there's something wrong, just voice it.
I think there's nothing wrong, but I'm
Yeah.
just not sure how this works, so.
Yeah, that's all right. That's, consensus is the best thing. However, I mean, it's not a vote is almost never necessary unless there's like a split decision and then there's something going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what we are trying to go away this term. Like, we want a unanimous vote. Like, it should not be like 60-40 or something on the boundary line. We want everyone to understand the concept and come to a decision.
Yeah,
Sure.
come to a decision. So I guess at this point, are there any strong oppositions, any changes you guys are gonna suggest to Jessica, anything like that? I have one suggestion on your milestones. Those are great milestones, but please continue researching your biggest barrier to entry, which is, you know, legalities and,
competition.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not the competition, the legal issue,
Okay.
right? It'd be nice next time you come back to have some more knowledge on that.
Yeah.
I also, like, I've heard from other people that whenever you, like, require the service, like other people, let's say this printing company, for example, make sure you write a check to document it so they can't infringe on, let's say you have a future patent and
Okay.
everything. So always, like, try to keep documentation whenever you get services from other people, so you own it.
Yeah, so you're suggesting when we send it off, send the
Yeah,
CAD
just
off, get.
Whether it be, like, check or, you know, maybe you can get a, you know, credit card or debit card. Don't do cash.
Yeah.
Have a record of what you spent. In the old days, I don't know how you guys do it anymore, in the old days, you would keep a notebook. You always put your thoughts in it, all this stuff would show up in it. Now we're in the digital world, so somehow have a record of your development.
Okay.
You know, those sometimes come in handy when there's a when it gets contested whether you were the first to IP or not. You know, you can show your original work.
Okay.
And actually, I think that's changing. Coming up next year, I think the patent office is going to require us the first to file.
Yeah,
instead
first
of-
to file.
Yeah.
That's they're dropping it. It's the first to file, but what was it? There was a dispute. If somebody accuses you of having stolen their ideas and stuff, you can show a record of how long you've been working on it. That type of thing. It's still good to have a record of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Give it to us, I guess.
Has
All right,
anybody,
you wanna close the discussion, take a vote, what do you want to do?
I think is everybody fine with this decision? Giving her a limit of 500 for tinkering?
This is just a proof of concept.
Yes.
Yeah, it is in the tinkering category.
A colloquial word for this tinkering, but it's really proof of concept.
So,
I was just wondering if the yellow jacket costs like $150
mhm.
and she spends 500.
No, she is spending to test her concept. Like if she goes on and she can spend a lot of money in R&D of that. Like the product is
Okay.
Different. Like she is not in the product. She wants to taste out the concept now.
Okay.
This is all the.
She just wants to see if she can make one.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Is there a way you could get like a used or cheaper yellow jacket?
I can look around.
I mean, you know, just try to save a couple bucks here and there.
Why do you need to
I'm
say?
not sure.
You just want to see how it works. I mean,
If it is crappy,
Sure.
like if it is not working, then she will be like.
no.
When you say shielding requirements, like, what are you referring to? Like the shielding of the circuit board?
Yes, so we're fairly certain that if you pack that much voltage right next to your cell phone, then you very quickly discharge it, something's going to happen to your phone, and we prefer not to break any phones. So that's what we're referring to by shielding.
One of the shielding components that we use at my company, Continental, we work with flex sensors, and we use this substance called conformal coating, and they typically use that on circuit boards to protect the soldering joints and everything, as well as, you know, electrical transfers and stuff.
Okay, sure, definitely look into that then.
Yeah, I think it might be a little expensive though. Like it
Yeah.
costs like $5,000 a pound, 500 something like that. But it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's able to withstand like 140 degrees Celsius temperature and like negative 40 degrees Celsius temperatures and stuff.
It
can take a lot of heat.
During those kinds of temperatures, that'd be pretty extreme up
Yeah.
there.
Well, just yeah. But it's reliable. That's what I'm saying.
Good to know.
Did you
Formal
have an idea
coding.
for the phone that you're going to start this experimentation on?
My friend has, or my partner rather, has an old phone that because she recently changed phones, so she still has her old phone. It still works, and she recently jailbroke it, so she can make calls and texts and stuff from it. We are going to use that as a testing bed. She doesn't need it. I'm not going to take it from her, and it still works. So let's use it.
So how are you going to test it?
How are you going
I
to
was
test
going
it?
to come to the same question. To whom rather?
Yeah.
We're going to make sure that
Test it on
it will theoretically work. The shielding and all that will theoretically work. Slap it to the back of that phone, and then I'm probably going to get shocked.
Keep in mind the power, I think, of this taser. This is not a powerful taser. Within the grand scheme of tasers, this is a very weak taser. So, I mean, to try it on someone, probably, it was gonna hurt, but it ain't gonna kill you, you know?
I've seen YouTube people putting that on their tongue.
You should have shown some videos.
Okay, I hope you calculate the voltage correctly.
Yeah.
Can't you put like a multimeter or something to measure what it is instead of putting it?
We would be testing everything before actually testing it on someone.
Let's
but
trust them and turn them loose.
that's
Alright, so close it up, baby. These guys are
You
getting
go with your gut.
Okay. So
We're just
$500 limit granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, credence.
So you make sure she's aware of all the reimbursement processes and things.
Yeah,
like that.
you need to talk to me after this. I'll get you for the forms. Thanks. And I'm blank background. Okay. So last time I have discussed about like what I'm doing, but I thought like there will be some new people in the room, so I should give a brief history. Like I'll not spend a lot of time. I'll just spend like 1 minute on that. So what Credence Corporation is we are using the web technologies to raise the operational efficiencies and marketing effectiveness for an organization. And these are all the tools which we are using. We are having a cloud server of our own. We are developing the web and mobile applications. We are doing the web marketing. We are doing live telecasting. We are doing graphic designing and many other things. I showed some of our portfolio, some of our work, which till date we have done in US. And this is like a scenario projects. And these were like the accrued items last. Now we are divided into like two parts, this presentation. We had line item approval and now today is the financial approval. So all this was approved, registration and travel to 3 trade shows, then trade show display and digital displays. And I have this trade shows. Before going to this, like we discussed about how exactly I was planning to do it. I had planned 3 trade shows just because I want to like diversify. I'm going in a general small business trade show, then in the manufacturing trade shows where I can pitch my e-commerce and all the ERP stuff which I'm developing, and some technology to be up to date to the knowledge what other companies in my field are doing. So this is how I have like divided it. I was doing a lot of research from last Friday, like which trade shows I should go, and I searched around like 70, 80 trade shows around the country. Most of the trade shows cost, like the registration cost was like from 2,500 to 4,500, like a lot. And in that, like I saw some of the trade shows which were like very big, and like I said, there I should not go because I'm a very like small company right now to be present at that kind of trade show. So where I can get a maximum output. So in each category, like I had 2 or 3 to 4, like I finalized, and then like I was working on this, which one is the best. and I have selected few which are like targeted to small businesses, and it is a smaller one in scale where like other startups also come. So like I'm not completely like competing with like very big giants or so the first one is the Small Business Expo. It takes place in 3 areas. It is in New York, Dallas, and Los Angeles. So in New York, it is on May 9th, and I have selected this May 9th. The expected like demographics. Like you can see that which kind of people. So the businesses that attend are from like all the business arena, like accounting, advertising, banking, and the if I register early, the early bird good rate is 1800. This is also I saw. I'm getting like around 25% discount. That's why like I'm selecting the trade shows which are in the after April or after March, so that I can get into this and I can lower my cost. The second trade show for manufacturing is this, Impex, and most of the manufacturing, distributors, retailers, importer, exporters, R&D people come here. So this can be a very good place for me. It is on June 19th to 21st to present whatever e-commerce or that kind of stuff I'm doing. Third is the technology one. Actually, for all these trade shows, I contacted most of those which I shortlisted, and I was talking to them. I negotiated with them like what. So everybody has sent me a proposal like this. This is a tech week in Chicago, and I don't remember the dates. I think it is June 27 to 29. So this is targeted towards like young entrepreneurs, and there are many sessions. This is mostly related to technology, IT, and like all other stuff, startups, and they are having a lot of events. One is expo, conference. There is like developer summit. So most of the developers meet. There are like some challenges also. So I was thinking like, should I have a booth there, or like can I get all the benefits by just attending it? So I thought the booth price was $3,000. I thought I can get all the benefits just by attending it. So attendance fees is like $300, and like we need 2 representatives to go there to be in this. So this was the trade shows which I have shortlisted. I'll need around like $2,000 as a traveling expense because one is in New York, one is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the third one is in Chicago. So roundabout, like it comes to $2,000. Actually, it will go more than that, but like I have just approximated this figure. And then, as I'm going to trade shows, as I had this in my line items. I need to set up a display there. So tabletop displays as well as digital display. So it will cost around $1,100. So actually, I was not expecting this much. I searched around, tried to get the best deals possible, and this is what it goes to right now. $6,775. Questions?
So during your traveling, what's the core information you find from the different cities, and it will be
related to your company?
From different trade shows, you're saying?
I mean that as you traveled around New York, Pittsburgh, and Chicago, so what is the core information you find? It will be related to your company.
See, I'm going there for like exhibiting my company, and there will be many other companies which will be coming there, and there will be many startups. Like that's why I have the general small business category, where there will be startups. And the second one, there will be manufacturers, distributors, which is my target market. What I'm trying to do here is, the first thing is generate leads from this. From whatever you have seen, if from any of these three, I get at least one or say 2 contracts, I'm above this value, like I get profit more than what I have investing into this. So I'm trying to find leads and get projects. That is the, and automatically the exposure comes, automatically the branding comes, everything comes along with it. But my main purpose is to generate leads and move ahead. And last week there was this discussion that whether I'm in the expansion stage or exposure stage. So like after this week, that day's meeting, me and Professor Patil talked about it. And I'm clearly in the exposure stage. And why it is because most of the projects which I have got till now are by referrals, or by, I have not done, like I have not went out and like made my name. Like, did you know about Credence Corporation before you came like here? Like I need to make an exposure out. So I'm completely in the exposure stage.
So currently right now you have the Bull and Don working with you in Credence America, right?
Vipul, Don, and Amol.
Well, okay. Cool. So I'm assuming those guys are they're on board with, or have you, are they gonna be working with you when you go to the trade shows? Okay,
We
that's
are
cool.
talking back and forth. They search few of the trade shows from me. And
You feel like you're gonna get more people hired in?
I'll be hiring more people.
Right.
But like if you say about the projects, like most of my work is done from India. I have a staff of 35 people there. It's working for me. So I already have the base there. Here the main purpose for me is to market and get new projects.
You might have stated this previously, but like say that you've pulled in like amounts as large as like $100,000 a year. I think remember hearing you say that. Why don't you want to use some of your own capital to fund these trade shows? Why
That's a very good question.
Society.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and that's what yesterday or last week we were discussing, that whether I'm in the expansion stage or exposure stage. Right now, why I need support? I have done a lot of business in India. I have profits also in India, but I'm considering Credence USA as a completely separate entity. I have started, when I started this Credence Corporation, I started with a saving of like $400 from my undergrads, and it has reached to this point right now. So what I trying to do here is like, so you don't risk any other's money, or you don't risk, like I don't risk my, I have risked my $400, and whatever has came till today is everything is plus, like, and nothing has gone minus. Because I don't fear at all to try new things, to do it, and that's why I'm here. And as Credence USA is completely like bootstrapping, I told last week that we have around profits of $3,000 to $4,000 bank account, and like 6,700 which I'm showing here. Actually, the expense, if you just calculate, it will be more than that. It will go around like $8,000 to $9,000. So I'll be pulling some money from there also. Like I'm not, and here also, when I saw all these trade shows, when I really saw some good trade shows, this $3,000 one which I showed the technology, I want to really represent over there. But I will do it myself, like not next year, next year, like 2014. Like most of the trade shows, I will do it. When KES gave me like $3,000, I created a revenue of 30,000. Now, like if this is supported, this will give me a lot of big exposure, and I'm sure that I'll cover this 6,000 Plus, I will have a lot of business. I'm at least talking like, means I'm always calculating it like 10x. Always trying to do that. Always see the return on investment of whatever is invested from the society or from myself, like consider it as my money.
On the other two trade shows where you said that you're actually going to have a booth, how many people can you have at those trade shows? Is it just, like, what's the amount
Well,
of people you...
on the booth,
Right, with your company.
we will have around like
What's the max?
3 people,
3
2
people.
to 3 people. Like that's what I'm having right now. But
Right.
most of the trade shows are in May, and I have a lot of. I'll be free after this, like after this term or this term, like I will get a lot of time. I was doing everything like part time till now. When I'm going full fledged, I will be like getting more people. I'll be recruiting more people. So that is the plan. Maybe I'll have some employee also that day. I don't know. But it's sure that 2 people are surely there. Me and Don, me and Amol. I'm the constant one. So somebody will be there.
So how many new contracts are you expecting to get? How many new contracts are you expecting to get from those trade shows?
See, now I'm exploring that can I really get a contract from it? I know that I will surely get, like e-commerce, I'll surely get one. That's why I have spread it around. I have not kept it like just e-commerce, because if I go to that trade show, invest like $2,000, some travel and some other like 1,000, so I spend like $4,000 there, and like I don't get a contract. In this 3, if I get at least 1, like I'm just counting on minimum 1, it will cover my this cost. Because most of the projects, like first I did only with like some very small companies. Now I'm like raising my standards also. I didn't go for a lot of profit because I was building a portfolio. Now I have a good portfolio, and now like I can charge more, and I can, like the project which I'm doing right now, I am charging like $15,000 for that. So if I get like,
Have you been to one of these manufacturing trade shows? Anything similar to any of these?
in India, yes, like I sponsored events and I went. And set
But
up
any in US?
No, not yet. That's what like I'm looking as the next stage to go into.
So if I asked you right now, do you know if there are other web service companies like yourself exhibiting a booth in these trade shows? Could you tell me yes or no?
Actually, I talked with most of the trade show people. Like, is this a right place for me to come? Obviously, they will say yes because they want business.
Yeah.
But like, I clearly mentioned them. Like, I'm a startup. They asked me like, how are you supported? Like, are you a venture capitalist? Or I said I'm a bootstrapping company, so I really don't have that fund. So I really need to ask you like, if this is a right place for me or not. I talked with them, and they said like, they gave me details about who is going to come. And like the manufacturing trade show, I see like most of the manufacturers come there because this is the invention and what was it called? The invention show. So most of the people come there as a manufacturer to get the ideas or like to license or see new products. So a manufacturer, I can get like some distributors or suppliers also, who are many Chinese people, the traders who are in US also come there. So
the reason I asked you my question, I've been to a few trade shows and people go for specific purposes. If they're not coming there to talk to somebody who can create a web presence for them, you'll be sticking out like a sore thumb in this group. And you've just paid $3,000 for a booth and $1,100 for a display. And you're going to be sitting there, you're the only one there. Now,
yeah,
there's some
I'm the
advantages
odd
to
man
that.
out in that group.
Right, there's some advantages to that.
Yeah.
But there's some serious risks you're taking.
Yeah.
And one of the risks is that they're going to come there, they have no idea what to do with it. Because they're there to see machines or inventions or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Then maybe they're out there shopping for something for their business. Right?
Right.
See, last week when you were presenting the idea, I thought you were gonna go to these conventions to kind of network. I didn't know that you were thinking of booth presentation.
Yeah, I was planning to exhibit. That's what.
Right, that didn't, at least I didn't get that from your presentation. I would have told you right there, these are gonna be very expensive. I would have told you that Thursday.
I thought
if I had
the
heard
trade
that
shows
from
will
you.
be in the range of like 500 to 800.
No. Booth space is like gold. Okay, so that's why you're paying $3,000.
So that's why, means I don't know if it is going to work in the manufacturing trade show or not.
Right.
That's why what I'm doing is I'm putting I'm having these 3 trade shows.
No, I understand.
I know right now that okay, this is working for me. If the manufacturing is working for me, I will be generating some and I will be having my own words till that time. And from next year on, I'll book some of my
Yeah, it's a
trade shows.
high risk proposition what you're doing.
No, it's when it would have been only the manufacturing trade show, it would have been high risk.
No,
If it is like spread, diversified,
the trade show concept as marketing for your business, I'm having a hard time grasping it. That's why I asked you, have you seen anybody that do this?
yeah, I went to some events. Where did I go? I went to this AC event, and I saw like 2 companies who were related to this. They were presenting.
Right.
It was a very
I
small
can see
event.
it working at ACE, yeah.
Yeah, means when you see the portfolio, I have done all the research on that. I have seen people from the computer and IT sector presenting in that. So in their complete prospectus, like the exhibitor prospectus, they have mentioned like who is there and who is not.
Have you been to like I said, you might have said this and I might have missed. Have you been to other trade shows? Like as a visitor, obviously. Okay,
Where?
so you know how it works, right?
Here or India?
Here.
I have went to India.
Well, here in
I
the
have
U.S.
not- I didn't go to any of the trade shows here. Like I have just
Oh,
went for
okay.
some networking events here,
Right.
not trade shows.
Okay. Interesting.
Pin drop silence.
Basic idea behind this is like now I have the presence. People stop by. I have seen this worked in India. I know that this, if nothing, like I'm sure that I'll get like at least 1 or 2 projects from this 3. And if that is going to pay whatever I'm like paying from my pocket or like from anything, that's what I want. And once you get that, I'll get a lot of knowledge that how it works, how it is going, and I will select particular trade shows.
Well, in the interest of time, let's cut through the chase. The limit is 3,000.
Yes.
You need to convince the society that they should invest 7,000 in you right now.
Yeah, that's. I was trying to put it in that limit. So when you go here, you see the trade shows. We have like we said that we can go for 3 trade shows, and why I have put this is because I want to diversify. If I just choose one, consider I just choose one and I go to manufacturing one, it will cut down my other expenses, other trade show expenses, cut down the travel. The 1100 with the display will still be there, but this will be a very high risk. That's why I'm trying to, because I don't want to like just take the money and produce nothing. Like I really want to produce something. That's why I'm putting it into this 3, and that's why it raised the cost. And I have been working with this like from last 4 days, going through all the trade shows, getting all the data, and this 3 seemed to be like the best choice. And wherever I thought like here, I thought 3,000 is not good, I just cut it down. I just said like why I'm going here. If I'm not going for prospective clients, I'm going for a knowledge. So I can be an attendee there. And that's why like I'm not going for 3,000, I'm going for just to attend this trade show. So this is, if I need to go to trade show, registration fees the required. Travel will be required. And what I'll display. So like if I could have reduced anything, I knew what is the cap. I was working around it a lot.
What's displayed?
Which one?
The display is what? What does it look like? What is it?
It's like monitor or
A TV, right?
It is in the trade shows, like when you go to a booth, like they have this display, their company. And when you go to a booth, there is something set up there. A booth is set up. So that is the display.
What is it? Is it electronic, digital? Is it a poster? Is it a...
No. It is a. I don't know if it is clear or not from here. It is a tabletop display.
Right.
You put it on table. It is completely foldable, and like it stretches, and it is like this big, and it shows the company and like all the.
So it's a poster.
Hmm?
It's a poster frame.
Yeah, it is a frame. Can show more details if I go on web.
It's a stronger poster frames, you know, the metal structures that people set up.
Yeah.
And then you have to create your own poster material for it.
Yeah. Everything is included in this.
And that's $1,100 bucks?
Yeah. It includes the digital display also. I need to put a display there. Like most of my products are not something which people can get an idea just by looking at it.
Your $1,100 bucks includes a digital display?
Say everything.
What's a digital display?
Digital display will be like a monitor where like I will be able to showcase whatever I'm like websites I have done or whatever it is.
What kind of monitor?
I was looking at Dell 27 inches monitor.
That would fall under capital piece, right?
Yeah, it may fall into capital and it is a capital expense, but capital expense, how much it is related to personal use, that is the main thing here. Most of the things which we have got, like maybe mobile or a laptop or a iPad or something like that, that can be completely transferred to a use. But display, like it is either can be used just as an extension display in office, means other than, so I don't know how it can be like completely turned into a personal use.
That could be a nice TV screen. Well, okay, anyway, I'm trying to find a way, because we only have about 5 seasoned individuals sitting in this room right now. I think a lot of the new members are wondering what's going on because they've never been part of this process. So I'm trying to find a way how to guide this discussion. You brought a big challenge to us.
It's
And
a
it's-
challenge for me.
And it's a challenge that I personally feel like hasn't been cooked up very well yet. But that's my feeling, and I'm trying not to interject my opinion here. But I need to leave in 5 minutes. So I can leave the room, you guys decide what you wanna decide,
That's
you
fine.
can lead, there's some more seasoned people. They can lead the discussion until you guys come up to a compromise or a decision.
That's why I wanted you to like stay till like I
can't-
show this, because this is something,
Yeah.
if I would have been looking at somebody's presentation,
Right.
I wanted someone like you to like have a look, because like
No,
it is
I
going
had a
up.
look. I don't think we're gonna settle this in the next 5 minutes. I have to leave at 7, I have no choice. I have an appointment at 7:15, I guess. And technically, you guys should be able to handle stuff like this. We have rules, regulations, you guys keep hammering it until you get it. So I'm gonna lean on all the seasoned people to hammer this home. Okay? So, and then we'll be informed tomorrow what you guys decide.
Why
why exactly are you going to the technology show? What are you looking to gain out of it? Because you're not presenting there, you're just going to attend it.
Yeah, I'm going to attend. There are going to be a lot of workshops. There is going to be like some seminars which are related to. I can show you the details of it. Okay, here. There is going to be expo. Most of the companies will be from my sector in that expo. I'll see like what kind of applications maybe they are developing, where the trend is going of my industry. There are like many keynote speakers. I think I've shown it here. Keynote speakers, there are very good keynote speakers in this. So we will have that. We will have a developer summit where developers, the people who code, like they will be together and they will be like trying out new things. There is going to be a competition there for that. So I was thinking of like doing all this. Means I can have a booth and do this, or I cannot, like I can do this without a booth. So why do I need a booth?
So is this more like an educational?
Yeah, it is. Mainly it is a networking. Like I will network with many people there who are into the same arena. We'll talk about my idea, talk about maybe we can form some, like a group or something. If I can find someone with the allied technology which I'm using, or if they have advanced technology in that. So it is going to mainly networking.
All right. For customers, you're talking about, or
No, for the
clients?
people who are,
For your
yeah, for. So that is the vision.
See, just going back to why I asked you, like, if you'd been to a trade show here, like, I think it'd be good, like, if you saw, like, how, if you actually went to one of these first and, like, saw how people here in America do it. So, I mean, maybe, does that, when you go to the last one that you said, where you're just going to be attending it, is that going to be happening first? So that'd be really effective if that was
the
happening.
problem with this is like, I really don't need to go to a trade show to know that what is, I need to represent myself properly whenever I am exhibiting. I know how trade shows work. Trade show doesn't work differently in different countries. Or my industry, I know my industry very well, and if you know, like India is like the leader in this, there will be companies from India also coming to this trade show. So, like, I don't think that knowledge is the piece like which I lack here to go to a trade show. Like I should have a knowledge and then I should. And if that is the case, I can just, because most of the trade shows start from May, I can just swing around some of the trade shows to see how it is. And I'm like, I'm putting this in completely in a way that I get whatever I put into this. Like I'm not just thinking of spending money and getting nothing from it. This is a well thought out, like, if you are having like questions related to that, if this my thought process, like we can discuss on that, like how I came to this conclusion, why trade shows, like I talk with this.
Because I mean, like, if you say that you like really know it and everything, then like go to the. I mean, of course, there's personal networking, and there's probably gonna be personal networking even when you have a booth, like at a trade show. But just to like, you know, go to one for like maybe like an educational thing.
What educational? Educational. I have one, but the manufacturing trade show, what I'll get from it. Like if I visit that, they will be talking about all the automation technology, all about like CAD. Actually, I have CAD services also, so that's a plus point for me. Like, I'm going to like make a display exactly for the trade show, which I'm visiting. Should be completely different. Like in the manufacturing, I'll also emphasize on my CAD services. So. Researching this, I found a lot of opportunities, and I'm very excited.
So I gotta leave, so I just leave these words with you folks. The main mission of the society is to help each other, right? It's not about money. It's about learning from each other. So you need to ask yourself, what am I learning and what is it I can offer to Saagar here? If you're not feeling comfortable about this plan, or if you're feeling perfectly comfortable, just talk about the money then. Okay? You gotta get convinced that you gotta invest. It's a large ask, obviously. You know, we're used to $3,000, that's our limit. This is a huge ask, so you need to deal with that if you're comfortable with this plan. But since this kind of came at us a little too quickly, you know, starting last week, there's a possibility that the plan needs to be re-examined a little bit more. So do that a little bit if you have some time. See if you can make some suggestions to Saagar that actually improves the chance of this investment working for him. Okay, so don't get hung up on money too much until you really think this is the right approach for him. So we're kind of doing the Thursday night thing a little bit more, because this came a little too fast and it is large, so it requires a little more scrutiny.
I understand.
Maybe you can chunk it in phases. I mean, you're still going to be here next time, so maybe you can break it into some phases that you can feel more comfortable that this is going to work. I mean, think yourself, always assume this was your money.
Yes, that's
I
right.
mean, today, would you drop $7,000 on this risky plan or not? How comfortable do you feel?
Right.
I know you keep giving us assurances you're going to get contracts out of this. Fine. But if it was your money, how much assurance would you have?
If I had it, like that's what I was saying.
Right.
I found a lot of opportunities, like there are trade shows which are $4,000.
Right. No,
I can actually go to that and
No, I'm just putting the questions in, so you guys discuss it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I will sit with you
Sorry.
as long as you want, but
Yeah.
it's better for me actually not to be here, because you guys need to, so anyway, our motto here is to help each other learn and improve our ideas, okay? So if you feel like he needs to improve his ideas, help him with that, okay? If you feel like, no, that's perfect, that's the way it should be, then make it fit our world a little bit better, however way you want to do it. So I'll leave you with that. I'm sure you guys are all capable of doing and making good decisions. See you later. Thanks, Vivek.
So what's the benefit of having a booth over attending the trade show with like an iPad that you can show off all your portfolio items?
when you have a booth, people who are exhibiting also come to you, and who are the attendees also come to you. And I'm trying to look at this market right now. If I'm targeting, suppose, a manufacturing one, so I may not be interested in the other people who are doing some inventions, because they may not be at a stage to like design or develop app. But there will be people who will be attending this who wants to put that into their own business. And okay, I had this e-commerce thing I was trying out. So they have, so you can get a lead from like many different ways if you have a booth. Attending, I have tried attending, and attending does not help a lot. Because when you are going and like talking to the person who is exhibiting, he is more interested to tell what his things are about. You can talk to him about, but so you get this network, and that also gets like filtered out, because few people are not interested because they want to sell whatever they have invested into this. So the approach is different completely when you are attending and when you are exhibiting. Exhibiting is like pull, and this is like push, like attending, like this is my idea, this is what I do, and we say, okay, we can talk later, like you can have my card, and I have seen this thing happen.
What's the date line up for those? What's the
For
date?
the early bird,
Not for registration, but
okay,
I just want the dates of events.
date of events, okay. This one is it's 27 to 29 June. Then this one is May 9. I can go to any of this, but I selected New York because in Los Angeles there will be more my kind of company which will be coming for this. I'm not targeting people who are in the same sector. I'm trying to target like people who are into like completely different. So New York is a better one. So New York, then this is on June 19th to 21. So it is both are like in May and June. This is also in June. I wanted to spread it around here, but I didn't find good trade shows. Means the one which were there, they were like too expensive, and I don't think that can be good.
So which one was the first one that aired? I'm sorry. Which one was the first one that is the first one timeline-wise? Okay. Would it be, I don't know, I'm just thinking about money here. Would it be beneficial to, maybe for us to propose to pay for the items for the presentation, for maybe a third of the travel, and maybe for the Small Business Expo, to give them a taste of what's actually going to be there and how that goes? I don't know. That's just your thoughts.
That's what I was actually saying here. Means if you pay for this, suppose this event only one, you go and pay me some travel, and then give your display items. If you see the percentage, the trade show is the maximum one. So you are directly eliminating like maybe $1,800 from here, and you may eliminate, if you are just paying me to go to this one, you are eliminating around $1,200 from here. This is not going to go. So it will come around 18, then it will come around 3,500, 3,600 totalized.
So that's
So if you see this, I can attend one, and after that I can be directly late, like I cannot attend the second one. And if I cannot attend second one, so whatever I have invested into this trade shows, whatever you have invested into me, will I be able to give that back? Like, as I'm not considering it as a, if it would have been my money, I would have like diversified and invested. That's why I want to go to this free. I thought the trade shows will be around like $500 to $700. Most of the stuff is going more into the registration fee. But this will like give me a kickstart. We are always like funding and doing these things. We fund in a term about like $3,000, $3,500. So that's also a possibility. Like I get 3,000 from this section, I get 3,000 from the next section. But like if that is not there, maybe you just fund me with one trade show, and I have to get 2 trade shows from someone, and they don't do it. So I'm putting more risk on whatever money you are giving them.
I don't know about everyone else, but I'm really leaning towards funding just one trade show. Yes, it's a huge risk on our investment, but I think there's a huge learning opportunity in just going to one American trade show, seeing what there is, or what opportunity there is for it, and then deciding whether it's worth going to the other 2.
I don't know, like, I express my feelings, like.
Yeah, you should be very frank now to like express, because now means I have thought maybe in one way, but you have all a different perspectives how you are thinking this, and I want all the perspectives, and with this like I can make a solid idea. Maybe if there is something which I have not seen and which you think that is a better route. So I want all the, whatever you feel, just feel fine, like, just tell me.
It's just because I was thinking that I think you should present another time, like showing how, for example, you could reduce the risks, like associated with those trade shows, like and to see, you know, like if, you know, how many trade shows do you think, you know, what would be the risk, you know, to just to go to for one trade show, and then for two, and then for three, and what would be your options like concerning these three thoughts, and also I think you should like put like your presentation, you know, not only what would the society receive from this, but how you would, you know, like pass this knowledge, you know, because I think it's difficult, like, you know, like to go to a trade show and then say, oh, that happened there, you know, like, because I think it's more, you know, it's it's a
I'm
bit
getting your
subjective.
point. Like, whatever I learn, I should like tell it to society.
Yeah.
You're saying that, right? From the trade shows.
Yeah, no, it's because, you know, I think sometimes it's difficult to not show turn subjective things, so like to objective. Like when you present, you present maybe your impressions, you know, like it's, I don't know, it's what I see. I don't know.
I didn't get you completely. Like I just got one part
Yeah,
of it.
no, but I just wanted, you know, like to see more, you know, like to see what are the risks associated, you know, like to those trade shows, you know, like try to write them, you know, like to see why would be really a difference to go to three trade shows or to two or to just one, you know, like just to have a
That's why I structurized. Means you're saying about why I choose 3, right?
yeah, no, I understood that. No, I understood. I understood why your justification. Just because, you know, I
See it as only 2 trade shows here: general small business and manufacturing. The technology one is like a conference which I'm attending or a trade show which I'm attending.
you know, it's because I think if there were more information, or maybe it would become easier, like, to come to
Information
decisions.
for like the society or for me?
No, for us, like, because
Okay.
because I think, you know, like, I think it would be better for you, because I think now, for example, where at least myself, you know, if I had to choose, I would say, you know, just, you know, like, just one trade show, because, you know, like, I'm not, you know, totally, you know, I feel a little bit, I don't know all the risks associated, you know, like, it's,
With this general small business, there are around like 10 to 15,000 people who come there for the trade shows. They have a foot count of like 10,000 people coming last year. So in the manufacturing one, it is around like 5,000 people come there, and they have like shown all the demographics, which kind of people and are coming like to this kind of trade shows. Mostly these are like startups, so mostly the CEOs like me or so mostly this kind of people are going to be there, and small business manufacturing people will also be there. This is a general.
I think I'm not sure how the payments work. Like if we did decide on this, whether we give you the money up front, is that how it
No,
works?
it is not like that.
It's-
I spend everything
Right,
and society reimburse.
right,
oh,
right. But the
Never, society has never given the funds like this and like, okay, you are free to spend it. You had to spend it, you have to give your, submit your receipts.
right. So
Mhm.
we give you the money
Mhm.
and then you reimburse it, right?
No.
No,
Or
you-
I'll spend money from
You
my
spend the
pocket.
money. Okay.
And like I'll
The society
turn in the
reimburses
receipt to
you.
you, and you will reimburse me for that.
Okay. Okay. I also think that like maybe something to consider too is like I don't know if maybe go on one trade show is the best option, but I think now that you're in the now that you know maybe that you're in the exposure phase, you're sort of in the stage where you know this is the advertising. You're trying to get your name out. You're like, what works, what doesn't work. So maybe instead of just seeing that you're going to spend all this money on trade shows, maybe
I have
Go to one-
alternate routes, I'll tell you.
go to well, let me finish. So like go to one trade show
Mhm.
and then come back to us with some feedback and be like, hey, you know what, this really worked. This trade, you know, this is where I need to be. you know, I feel like I need to go to these other trade shows, and then maybe it'd be better to put that money into it, the rest of the money into it. And then, or you can come back and be like, you know, maybe this trade show didn't really work out for me. Maybe I can.
But then
We should try another form of.
But then you
getting
are
them
like,
out.
since all the three trade shows are not similar to each other, so you cannot rely on one went bad or one went good to depend on the other two, which will go
Right.
good or bad. So, you know, like, they're like both ways. If the first one went really well, and there are chances of the second two not going
Well,
too good.
You can say
Or
there's
if
like.
the first one was not too good, and maybe the second and the third one is so superb. So,
There was a
Well, you
good
can say that
question
there's
which you
various trade
mentioned.
shows, but there's alternatives.
Yes,
to getting your
alternatives
name
to
out there.
marketing and getting leads, right? Yeah.
Right.
The other alternative ways, I'm already pursuing that. So I have a Google AdWords account, as I'm myself a Google certified partner. So I do all these services. I'm doing it for myself also. But I was not doing it like full-fledged because I didn't have that many portfolios. Like if I'm spending money, I should have portfolio. Now I have built my portfolio. Now I will be like doing the online advertisements. I didn't use my print media budget at all, which was granted to me like last time, because I didn't feel like it is important. Now also, like if you give me these funds, and I feel like after going to one trade show, it is not giving me, or like maybe, so I'll not pursue or I'll not go for other. Means I'm not in that way that I will just spend money and do nothing. So I'm using like the print media advertising, I'm using the other online media advertising. I'm registered in many B2B portals. So other than that, which way do you think I can go? Like I'm already using that. And like why I presented this, the first thing was I thought of going to trade shows is my next step, and that's what I discussed last week with you. Is it a right step for me to go to trade shows, or is there something else I should do?
do you feel it's a professional amount or?
Well, I think, does anybody else have any more questions directly for Saagar? Because I think that maybe some of the new people would feel more comfortable with you out of the room.
Yeah, I agree. But what's the duration of the second? This one's a 1 day. Is the second one also a 1 day?
No, 3 days.
The manufacturing one is 3 days.
3 days, yeah. This is 3 days, and this 2 is 3 days.
I want to just think about your travel. The trade shows are obviously, well, I'm assuming much more expensive to go to than the third. Than well, you
The
know, the
Wisconsin-
tech one.
The New York one, I went on the website and I saw like what are the tickets. So it is around like $250 to $260, one return flight ticket. So 216 to 500. Then I'll be staying there for like 2 days. So 200 spent into that, like $700 to $800 into New York. Then I'm going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh I can drive, so I don't have to take a flight. So I save on that. So I have calculated the mileage. It will be like somewhere around. Means the expense will be somewhere around $300 to $300 or something. Then staying there for 2 days, maybe like 200 to 300. So everything is around like $600 to $700. So calculating for all the three, it is a rough figure. Like whatever will be the charges, like I'll not exceed 2,000. Like if it is lower, it goes lower. So I'll find deals also.
In Chicago is a drive situation as well.
Yeah. Chicago is right.
Those are my questions.
And I had this query like, okay, I'm going to New York and how I'm going to like carry all this big display. So the display which I'm showing you right now is will be like packed in a small case like this, and I can just carry it here. So it expands and you can just put it like that.
Excluding the monitor though. The monitor would be separate.
Yeah, the monitor will be separate, but you can carry the monitor in like plane. I have seen all the airline regulations also, if I can carry the monitor, and they allow you up to 40 inches. So I'm covered there. And whatever like extra expenses will be occurred, like that will be covered by me. Like I actually did not means I was expecting $500 to $700 for registering a trade show, but I had it. I said that okay. I didn't want to go exceeding 3,000 limit myself. 3,500, 4,000 was like okay. This was.
Start with like who is on for
Yeah,
this
okay,
last
so
1,000.
if anyone else has questions, let's ask now, and maybe we can.
Go
Anyone have
ahead with the
questions?
money.
I think we should all have
Yeah, then we
just
can
in the
ask
same.
if Saagar can step up for a while.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Since
I'm
I'm
sure.
here. Thank you. I can,
Yeah.
yeah, just.
तेरे पास ही रहेगा
So I think that for all the new people that are looking like this, there's multiple ways of looking at this. Obviously, as Devin mentioned, an approval of the full amount, or some sort of process in which it ensures that he has the most success through this trade show schedule, or maybe it's some combination of whatever else. So I guess if we can open it up to the people that are seeing this, as a new member or a new person here, saying, why so much, or why, maybe it doesn't seem like a lot to you, I don't know. So how do you view this? I think that's really, just start opening that discussion up, and where are we gonna go from there? Because I think that ultimately we need to get this either wrapped up somewhat today to carry it into a different day, or come to a consensus tonight, so.
I would maybe say who is comfortable with that amount? Raise your hands. We'll start off there maybe.
Wait, what? Okay.
Well,
Who is comfortable with spending so much? Like you can just raise your hand that okay, this seems good. You can. I don't know from where to start. You can start at. You agree?
wait, I just didn't get though, like, being here last term with the society, I thought we put the money into them first, and then they reimburse us. It's the other way around?
No.
So they'll pay for
You
it
have to
all
have
up
the
front,
money.
they'll prove that they've paid for it, and then they get reimbursed.
And you can do it one step at a time. You can pay for one trade show, get reimbursed, pay for the next one, get reimbursed, you can do it that way too.
Hmm.
So are we thinking that this is the wrong route, would probably be a good question, right? I mean, we should consider, is this a waste of his effort, or is this the right way to go? Do we have any people who really feel strongly that this is the wrong thing for him to be doing at this time?
I think this is like obviously it is like a big amount, but
Yeah.
what he's saying 100% makes sense to me,
Yeah.
because you could just go to one and obviously it's a gamble. So
Yeah.
if it doesn't pay off, then you're like, oh, that didn't pay off, so you don't go to the other two. That makes no sense, because maybe the other two are better. You don't know.
And lucky
So-
him, we're
Yeah.
financing in this case,
So just because
would
of
be
that
skin off
finance
his
thing
back.
is that we are doing that, but
Yeah.
I think what he's doing is probably like the thing what I think even I would have done if I was in his place. To,
And,
this is my company, this is what I do. I am at a trade show, come and watch me.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I agree, and I think it's very interesting. I mean, I would definitely be curious to see what the results were from
So,
him participating
In
in
that
trade
way,
shows.
I'm like totally with him, and yeah, like I think even I'm with Ali. I would support
It's
that.
not $1 million, I mean, it's worth rather try. It's gonna happen. And I would suggest him to go at first, I mean, before that day, to go attend some other trade shows,
Mhm.
to get some experience. And after that, I think it's
Do we-
a good idea.
Does it seem like it would be much different than the India trade shows? I have no idea.
Because, I mean,
I know.
To me, it would probably differ from trade show to trade show, really.
Okay, yeah.
There might be a different atmosphere and culture within those. That's what concerns me as most is, do you know for sure that these are gonna be, I think you never know, right? I mean,
Right,
until you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how is a metric, aside from displaying, so.
I think trade shows would vary in type rather than which type of trade show. Like you go to an auto car show, then you have what companies would be there.
Mhm.
So this is something like that, which obviously I don't know in all these things, but maybe someone in the computer or the IT sector would know this better. Like, oh yeah, this is the trade show, something like that. So I don't see it would differ from any country to country because everyone would have the same motive to come there.
Mhm.
So
You know, like I feel like I don't know, I'm not still ready like to come to, you know, to decide because, for example, it's a lot of money, but I can see the results for the company. Like I told Saagar, I just think, you know, if you know, like at least he has already experience in India with trade shows, but I think those risks, you know, like associated to going to a trade show here in US, I think, you know, he should write that, you know, what are the risks, like the difference in culture, and think how he can mitigate that, for example, trying to find someone that maybe has already gone there, you know, like at catering or you know, somebody knows, like, I think that's not something, and try to talk to this person and get some tips. I think that would help a lot. But, you know, I don't think, I think the problem is not the amount of money, you know, like, I just think, like, he's asking a lot of money, but that's why I asked him also, you know, like, I think he should also show how all this experience, you know, like, all this money that the society is investing on him, you know, he would give back the society in knowledge, you know. I don't know how would be, you know, this trade-off. That's something, you know, that it was a little bit unclear to me.
Yeah, I would like to know how he would attract new customers to visit his booth.
Just like with the initial investment and stuff, like this is more towards you again, Justin, but just consider, like with the risk and everything. So he's gonna pay for these trade shows with his own money first. What if it falls through? What if he gets nothing from it? Does he still get reimbursed?
Oh yeah.
So he still gets
because-
You
reimbursed.
have to go.
So
yeah, because we have decided on it. So
I think we should do it in that sense. We should do it like incremental, in a sense, like, you know, maybe. I don't know. It's debatable on whether we should keep funding them after whether the first trade show is a success or not. But like, what if the second trade show he comes out and he's just like, you know, still hasn't found anything? I mean, is
So
that
obviously
so we
it's a
can
gamble.
cut it off?
Metrics-based.
The third is a little different though.
Metrics-based results is what you're looking for.
Right. Right.
The third option though is a little different. It's not him going. My understanding is that he's not going there necessarily to get clients, but to get a network of like-minded individuals, perhaps other teammates. I'm not exactly sure
Right.
about
And
that. So in that case, if we funded the first two, the third is a completely different experience altogether. As far as I think that's how he presented that this is a networking experience for him rather than a get clients kind of situation. I think it's a cool step for, you know,
Yeah.
I think that seems like a really neat idea.
I think if we fund it like each trade show at a time, and he comes back to us and gives us like feedback on how it, you know, how he thought it worked out, and I think it'd be great to go with this investment.
but then
overall.
you are like,
Because then we can, each step of the way, we can figure out if this is really what we needed, if this is really what he needs and stuff, if it's really working out or not. You
I
know?
think the only problem with that is the short time period between shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, between this last two, there's like no time, but between the first and
So-
second, there's a month and a half.
What's
Like,
the time
yeah,
between
I mean,
the
he could-
second and
Which
third?
would still be a fairly short amount of time to generate some interest also.
Yeah, I
It may take 3 months to something like
I
that.
see what you're saying, yeah.
so like what you are saying is reimbursing if the show was good or not if it doesn't, like that. That is like a gamble.
Well, I mean, just to give us some like assurance that these are really worth it, you know, because I mean, I'm sure there's people in this room that are unsure that really these trade shows are worth it, you know. At least if we're gonna put this in, I think he needs to, in giving it back to us, like tell us how each one is going, even with the short amount of time, because like he's gonna meet people at these trade shows, and I mean, you can almost like, and I'm sure there's going to be some situations where he's going to be like, okay, that guy's a potential customer, you know. I feel good on this, and I think it'd be good if, you know, after the trade show he comes back.
Yeah, I like Hunter's idea because I think,
Yeah.
you know, like we would see the results from all, you know, like the time restriction would be a problem, but I think we would feel more comfortable because we'll see the results from the trade shows, and we would also like see, you know, like the feedback for the society from it, you know, like, so we would, you know, really see if the money that, you know, the society is investing on him is really like, you know, like worthwhile.
I have another idea, like regarding the money. Like obviously, I hope like in this room everyone is at least confident. Like how do I say? Like yes, that what he's doing is correct. At least we agree on that. I hope. So what if we something like a a poll kind of a thing, like a vote, like everyone writes what amount they feel is comfortable, and just make an average of that amount divided by the total number of people to come to a amount.
Or we can
Well,
pick events that we think that
Yeah,
we
I
want to
think we're
sponsor.
gonna get to that amount through the discussion.
Yeah, I think,
I think maybe we can create, you know, like a first amount, you know, like, and maybe create, you know, like a goal. I don't know, and just to see like how it works, you know, like just not create a goal, but you know, like to compare with the first results, you know, like, and then, you know, for example, I think the 3 events they are closing time, right?
The